Hello, Assalamualaikum to Hajar Misapura and to my fellow friends. I hope all of you is in a good condition. So we are from Group 5 and we are the group that will present about Apple Incorporation. So basically this is our group member. We have 6 group members and my name is Abdul Jalil bin Kamel. So what is our purpose today? We will discuss on strategy formulation, strategy implementation and strategy evaluation. So I will start on the strategy formulation. Basically these are the mix and match theory that we have done, which are strength, weakness, opportunity and threat is over here. So we mix and match for related diversification strategy, for strong product portfolio and strong demand. For horizontal integration strategy, we mix rapid growth and high revenue with strong competition. And for forward integration strategy, we mix authorized seller and pricing. And last but not least, for unrelated diversification strategy, we combine declining in the sale with incompatible with other software. So basically, we will choose related diversification strategy. But why? We will explain here. Firstly, related diversification strategy. The advantage for this strategy is Apple can transfer valuable expertise. This means that they can produce what they want to produce. For example, when they wanted to produce the iPhone 6 Plus, they have no problem to produce it because their expertise have no problem with that. This is because as an employee, we need to fulfill our job and duties. So as our employer wanted to meet the customer needs and demand, so we need to fulfill it. For Apple, they wanted to implement iPhone 6 Plus because the iPhone come with larger screen. So it is the demands from the customer. Next, resource will not be wasted. Yes, because when expertise playing their role effectively, there will be no resources being wasted by them. For example, there will no be capital wasted. Next, Apple also can integrate relevant activities from multiple business into a single operation to save their money. This means that they can combine all of the activities into one roof. This will make them uh, can focus more on production. And why do they save money? Because they does not to have to spend more on their utilities, for example, electricity, water, and many more. So for the disadvantage, I'm sorry. So it will limit Apple growth. Why? This is because when Apple only focus on one product, or I can say on one field only, it will make them uh, feel not growing according to the current market. For example, I will give you two example which are good and bad. So why IOI? IOI is a good example to be followed by Apple because they implement IOI properties, IOI business, as well as IOI also have the shopping mall. So for Nokia, why this is a bad example? Because Nokia only focus on the production of phones, and after that they does not want to change, and their handphone is obsolete. I'm sorry. So this strategy give both advantages and disadvantage. Next, horizontal integration strategy. So the advantages are larger market share. This means that when the market is being shared with everyone, or we can say from any production or any company that produce gadgets, so the market will become bigger, will expand, and we will share with our own competi- competi- compet com- competition too. So why this is good for everyone, why this is an advantage for this strategy, because it will fulfill everyone's satisfaction, everyone needs and everyone demands, because as a customer, they will find the best product for themselves. So no matter how, as a seller, as a production side, we need to provide what they want. Next, the advantages is a bigger base of customer. Basically, when the market is larger, is expanding, thus we will gain more customer due to whether our product is good. Uh, so it means that if Apple product is the best in the market, so Apple will have bigger base of customer. Not only that, Apple also will gain loyal customer as well as fans. However, they also will gain a free advertisement from their loyal customer, which means that they will promote to other people, the loyal to other brand, to buy Apple product. Or why do they need to have Apple product? Next, as for this advantage, the stunting economic growth of the new enterprise. Basically, when new seller enter the market, they will bring a new impact to the market. For example, before this, when Nokia was the dominant seller of handphone in the market, but when Apple, Samsung, Lenovo enter the market, Nokia being obsolete product due to they does not want to change, as I mentioned before, and they does not want to hear what are the customer wants. So uh, with this, Apple should figure out on upcoming years later on how they want to sustain in the market without being uh, kicked out by the new uh, new seller or new production team or new brand, we can say. That's all from me. I will pass this presentation to Shahira. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nasira Binti Razali. I will present about the advantages and disadvantages of forward integration strategy and unrelated diversification strategy. Then for the other advantages in strategy, 3 is forward integration. This method is a business strategy used to reduce production costs and improve firm efficiency by acquiring supplier company, and also as a result replacing third-party channels and consolidating operations. Market share in the Apple company increased in a more positive and encouraging direction. Based on supply chain data of smartphone production levels, a market intelligence firm predicts that the iPhone's market share will rise to 33.1% in the fourth quarters of 2021. Given the previous quarter's share is 15.9%, the increase is quite significant. Furthermore, Apple's will rise will cause it to overtake Samsung in terms of market share. The controlled distribution of Apple stores from a central warehouse location productions are distributed to retailers, wholesalers, and network carriers. When it comes to distribution channels, businesses typically take either a direct or indirect approach. In many other cases, a combination of direct and indirect channels is preferable. For example, Apple's business model makes use of both direct and indirect channels. Apple sells its products exclusively through its Apple stores. This is critical to Apple's success because it allows it to provide a high quality buying experience for its products, emphasizing service and education. That is also always Apple continues to open new stores around the world. Then for the disadvantages in strategy 3 of forward integration is high initial costs. Many businesses are pricing launch as a strategy. For example, the first generation iPhone generates a lot of buzz due to its innovative design. The launch price is around $499 for the 4GB model and $599 for the 8GB model, both of which were quickly sold out. However, 2 months after its initial release, Apple reduced the price of its 8GB model to $399. The price dropped after the initial purchase meeting of early adopters. If the company's competitors are developing similar technologies, then the price scaling strategy will fail. However, the Apple to be effective, the quality of a new product or service must justify a high price. If the pricing scheme efforts fail, Apple will most likely have an excess of inventory. Next of the disadvantages is increase in bureaucracy. Furthermore, the paradox at Apple are well known. Tyrannical, boastful micro-copying by CEO whose auto revert. Workers have a demanding, tightly manageable boxes who, by some means, stay passionately engaged. No divisions, departments, or center managers. By some means, cut-off dates are met. A way of life extra creative that the CIA has the knack of understanding what's next. Next, the advantages of an unrelated diversification strategy are spared from risking all of the company, which is market threat is a threat of loss due to elements that have an impact on the entire market or asset class. Market threats are also referred to as non-diversified threats because they affect all asset trading and are unpredictable. Investor can mitigate this type of threat easily through portfolio hedging. Apple can avoid the burden of using their capital. In addition, apart from the seasonality, this is impact with the aid of using consumer-centric factors. Product release date additionally has a say in the income data. It's typically cross the duration to release that the distinguished phone is being sold. The advantages of an unrelated diversification strategy is no shared resources. There are extra fees for importing the downloading documents from the cloud. This can speedy upload if people are looking to get the right of entry to masses of documents often. Support from Cloud Garage is not always the best, mainly if the person is using an unfastened model of a cloud provider. Many couriers refer to know-how based on facts. Plus, when the person uses a cloud provider, their facts are not in their bodily garage. So, who's liable for ensuring that facts is secure? That's a grey vicinity. This is nevertheless being figured out. Then, for the slower decision making, the function of hands-on participation of the CEO in growing Apple merchandise has been considerably decreased because Cook took over in 2011. The iWatch is an instance of this shift. in shape as Cook selected to be much less within the info of product engineering. Instead, he delegate the one obligation to individuals of his government's cabinet. His drastically diffuse fashion of management has greater enterprise and worker goodwill. When compared to Jobs' brusque and frequently the dictatorial manner, Cook's fashion has additionally led to slower decision making and a clean lack of revolutionary drive. As a result, after conducting a view of all four strategies, we want to recommend Apple to choose the related diversification market. This is because as a well-known brand, there should not be any problem to focus their business with a clear goal. With this, Apple can focus on branding their names till they become the dominant organization that sells smartphones. Hence, they will not be having any problem if their advertisement is not as good as Samsung, due to their name and their customers are very loyal to them.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Zuhaira binti Abdurrahman. I would like to continue the presentation with point number 2, which is strategy implementation. Team management. Implementation in the next stage for successful execution once the organization develop a plan to fulfill its objective. Same goes to Apple Incorporation, their CEO on 2015, Tim Cook. He used a democratic management approach. The management team that also assists Tim Cook in his administration is the COO, Marketing, Engineering, Finance and Admin, Operation and China Division. Tim Cook still adopts some of the existing practices of entrepreneurs through Steve Jobs and incorporates the mantra of leadership in his own way to make its unique combination. Team Cook management has a play to its strengthen by emphasizing the importance of fostering cooperation within Apple skilled workforce. Next point is focus on action to be taken. First is look for variation in Apple design innovation. Apple's DNA is dominated by great design in every Apple product. Steve Jobs, Apple Inc. first CEO, was inspired in his true on the ideal design for Apple by his calligraphic creativity and perfectionist mentality. The management team is responsible for integrating this design DNA in all Apple product and teaching it to unskilled recruits as the business grows, to ensuring that Apple product design can be preserved or enhanced in the future, improving themselves in order to separate their innovation from others companies then that offer the same product in order to increase product and brand equitability. As a result, Apple will maintain a 2-year lead over their competitors. Next point is focus on leadership style. Good product portfolio management means the company has a product at every stage of the product life cycle. If the board wants the business to develop through acquisition, Tim Cook can decide to be less involved in producing engineering matters and instead delegate the responsibility to his executive team members in order to achieve a highly focused leadership style that will boost employee, industry, and customer trust. Through their leadership style, a soft manner of leading may encourage the greatest work from team members. They can make employees smarter, more innovative, and more efficient. Last point is the action to be taken by concentrate on making decisive investment. With investment in new Apple product research and development (R&D), the company will definitely advance its technology, enhance goods and services, and provide customer with a diverse selection of choices. According to the compatibility of Apple product in that year, may buyer desire a large screen. The investment in R&D will certainly boost from year to year, as seen by the fact that the iPhone 6 and 6s are the preferred model, and buyers are patient enough to wait longer for this iPhone 6 and iPhone 6s. Next, we will see the resources in Apple Incorporation. First is strong financial performance. Apple is now the largest public listed company in the United States and also the world in terms of market capitalization, because Apple has made investment in power generation companies. Apple market capitalization rose to 710.74 billion for the first time, driven by the company's highest iPhone sales and biggest profit ever recorded in the financial quarter ended December 2014. Apple being the first company in the US to hit that level. The company's financial success was driven by robust sales of its best-selling products, the iPhone. Even Apple changed in focus to digital and smart services. And the last resources is through supplier. The power of Apple brand surely benefit the manufacturing or the factory that supplies component to that company. As the demand for Apple's product grows, so the money will generated by supplier. Supplier factories can support the country's economy indirectly, also while providing employment for people. There's 9 key component companies that associate with Apple in the supply chain. Tim Cook will also make sure the supplier deliver items that are not seasonal and have a longer life cycle than a year. As a result, Apple has enough inventory to accommodate demand for up to 150 days.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Zuhaiba binti Abdul Rahman. Today I will continue to explain the progress for the strategy implementation. Apple Incorporation is eager to provide its consumer with a more efficient and productive product. Apple must continue to compete in the technological market and it must continue its research in order to maintain its competitiveness and dynamic processes. Other than that, Apple has a high reputation and quality to please its customer and acquire market share. Therefore, Apple Incorporation is willing to invest their money in research and development. I will continue to explain the target outcome for the Apple Pay. Apple Pay personal and safe to use by using the touch of a user finger software that has been developed as well as the use of the internet. Apple Incorporation plan to have a more bank provide Apple Pay as well as credit card companies and merchant. Customer can use Apple Pay when they shop at the Whole Food Market. For the actual outcome, Apple Pay is a mobile payment app, are processing well, and will continue to attract additional merchant. Other than that, the number of merchant and publisher who use the Apple Pay. Around 750 banks and credit union had signed to bring India client when Apple Pay first launched. Secondly is AirPod. The target outcome for AirPod, Apple finally managed to unveil an overhaul of its wired headphone with the production of AirPod that are much needed by most of the customers. The main purpose of Apple production is to reduce the lags of the fitness and reduce the noise. Apple continued to map the year after the yearly AirPod were released, and the actual outcome of AirPod is during the production of this Apple product, it received tremendous and had quality demand from the customer. There are also some version of AirPod that have an aggressive price point. Thirdly is a research and development for silicon integration chip for MacBook. The target outcome for this silicon is that Apple has announced that they will moving to the Mac to world-class compatible silicon to enhance the performance of industry leader. The purpose of this transition is to create a common architecture for Apple products. And the Apple has made plan that they will ship the first Mac with the Apple silicon to authorized seller. And the actual outcome for this silicon is Apple has released the Mac OS Big Sur, the next major Mac OS development. I will continue to explain the issue. The first issue is about the pricing. Most of the people think that product produced by Apple Incorporation are very expensive and too luxurious. This premium price because of the Apple product is the Apple ecosystem and many value that can be gained, such as improving the experience and satisfaction to the user. However, most people will consider as too expensive or at least not good value. The second issue is internet connection 5G at a slower pace. The latest iPhone have the most 5G frequencies of any smartphone and provide the best global 5G coverage. However, 5G coverage is currently so poor that many individuals are unable to take advantage. And the transmission loss is another issue for 5G technology. The third issue is too much competitions. Some of the primary problems are facing by Apple Incorporation, including analyzing the company competitions and determining the amount to which technical progress is occurring. The company's strategic decision to enter the fields of mobile communications and mobile entertainment devices expose it to a fair competitions from all sides.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ali bin Muhammad Zulfaka, and I will explain on the strategy evaluation. Basically, strategy evaluation is a useful technique for determining on how well the company has made its goals and objectives. It is a valuable tool for reflecting on company accomplishment and failing, as well as re-examining goals that may have been made at a different period and under different conditions. The strategy evaluation is vital to the organization's well-being as it helps the organization to measure their performance. Next, I will explain on the quantitative method for strategy evaluation. Quantitative approach focus on objective measurement and statistical, mathematical, or numerical analysis of data acquired through polls, questionnaires, and surveys, as well as modifying pre-existing statistical data using computing techniques. Quantitative research is concerned with collecting numerical data and generalizing it across group of people or explaining a phenomenon. There are two important financial ratios that we will use as the benchmark, which is the revenue and net income, to analyze between Apple Incorporation and its competitor for the quantitative study in the Apple Incorporation.
I'm your Izzati Bedi Kamardin, and I will continue the presentation on the qualitative method of strategy evaluation. Qualitative method is really important to make sure that the strategy implementation that have been implemented by the organization is useful, and it also help the organization to grow further, and how does this strategy implementation has affect the company's performance. The qualitative method does also involve the consistency with environment, which consists of the factors of economy, competitors, products, industry life cycles, and others. Qualitative factors such as customer feedback has bring more positive effects toward the Apple performance. This is because Apple still get a lot of demand from the customers that were satisfied in using their products and services, which leads the Apple to be one of the most successful company in the world. Other than that, we have been used annual report and also rating in order to evaluate the Apple's performance. Hence, this qualitative method is really useful in order to evaluate the company's performance. There are several corrective actions that the Apple can use in order to overcome the company's issues. Firstly, by revising the business missions, it helps the organization to renew confidence as they selling the products based on the customers' high demands, and also it also benefits to enhance more strength and opportunities toward the organization. Secondly, technology investments. This technology investment is really needed in the Apple's company because they produce more products and services toward the customers. When customers satisfied with our product,
Then we have to make the technology advancement in order to produce more quality products and services. By technology advancement, the organization also can be able to achieve higher achievement in ensuring that people can use the products anywhere without the technology barriers. The last corrective action is by develop more products and services. As the product and services from the Apple's company is very high demands, so this step has to be taken by the companies in order to bring more successful to the company. Developing more products and services may increase the profitability and revenues of the organization in competing with the other brands. This specialty of Apple's product is come from their quality, price, services, and features. This is why they have to produce more products and services so that people will keep continue on supporting the products and buy the products in future.
Next, I will explain on the revised external factor evaluation and internal factor evaluation for Apple Incorporation. So, the reason why we have revised the new EFE and IFE is because after evaluate all this. Next, I will explain on the strategy evaluation matrix. Once the review of internal factor evaluation and external factor evaluation is done, the Apple Incorporation company can re-evaluate the strategies that have been done to assess whether the strategies are effective or not. The strategy evaluation matrix is a unique framework that may be applied to the strategic planning. Following the SWOT factor analysis, the SWOT matrix is used to develop numerous strategic options. The strategy evaluation matrix methodology can be used to assess these strategies' possibilities and to enable users to objectively assess the strategic option based on the firm's ability to execute the strategy and the risk, which is financial, strategic, brand, and so on, with connection with its execution. For the final part, it is a revised SWOT method. After the strategy has been implemented, Apple Incorporation must assess all SWOT analysis conducted in order to determine the company's current position in business operation. When it comes to the Apple Incorporation strengths, several new ones has been recognized, and they are the key contributors to the company's success. It is also applied to the opportunity segment where new opportunity has been identified for the Apple Incorporation, and with the right planning, this opportunity can bring huge benefits to the company. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, Apple has a variety of huge global names to compete with a various market. Customers in many areas are growing increasingly brand loyal as technology advances. Thus, Apple has gone through several phases of change from its inception until now. Significant changes were made by Apple through its product. The innovations of Apple's product is the change that has made the company well known. As a result, the adjustments implemented have a significant influence, particularly on consumers. This is because experts believe that integrating software and capabilities as in Apple enable professionals to achieve ideal performance and dependability while exposing themselves to less malware. However, this does not mean that Apple products are crash-proof or resistant to virus and malware threat. Nevertheless, in terms of safety, this product exceeds the majority of competitors. As a result, Apple must now concentrate on developing the latest product and incorporating fundamentally new features into some of its existing products. Otherwise, the risk of future market share loss exists. That's all from our group. Thank you.